Hi there, it's a Dutch Master and welcome to the third episode of Let's Build a Vet Clinic in The Sims 4. So in the previous episode we just continued a little bit on the build, and today I might actually be able to finish the entire shape. That would be pretty cool actually. I might have to work hard to get that done. Also, I noticed I had to record like the thumbnail picture of this build, and I had to go into live mode, and now we've got dogs all around because yeah, I created a family with like 6 pets and then one man who's standing there, like the lonely warrior. But oh well, hey, we're gonna continue building, which should still work out even though we've got like many pets around. Maybe that actually improves, like, you know, the vibes on like the construction side, I guess. You know, it is sort of dangerous for them, but hey, it's fun for the construction workers, I guess, even though you don't really have those in The Sims. That would be sort of funny if every time you place a wall, there would actually be like an entire team of construction men with cranes and crazy stuff to actually just create that one wall. Yeah, that's probably not happening, but it would be fun. So yeah, we've got this atrium over here, and then now I should figure out a way to yeah, create a logical back of this building. We've got this, so I think I'll continue this on, because in that way we've got this main structure sort of going on all the way from the front to the back. Even though the height does change a little bit here, generally the concept is the same. So I should extend this here. Then we've got this roof over here as well, so we can play around with that. I do want to put this on there though, because in that way I can add the trims around it. There we go. And then we can create a really cool effect, because in the end this is what this entire building is simply all about. It's just having some crazy shapes with the new roof tools, because that's just super cool if you ask me. There we go. And then we've got 2 more shapes, but how am I ever going to find those? I haven't thought about this. Well, okay. Super smart. This is how we do it. There we go, and then we can move these ones back to there. Then we've still got that cool opening to the side, which seriously is working out really well. Maybe I can even add stairs there. Would that add like a cool, something cool to the entire plan? Maybe that is actually pretty cool to add, because in that way you sort of have a parallel between these roofs and then that staircase. Yeah, it isn't really an atrium anymore then, but I think we figured out that it wasn't anyways, simply because of that opening. So then we might as well just make it even cooler. Maybe I can even make a little link over here just to make it a little bit more of an atrium again. Well, the open stuff is cooler, I guess. And then maybe what my idea was is that we've got some kind of cool garden here. So we're not making the building too big, sort of the shape you see right here is what it will be. And then here we've got some kind of cool garden. I've got to remove that roof randomly put down there. But we've got a garden here where the dogs can walk around after they had surgery, for instance. Because of course you also want the dogs to relax, or the cats of course to relax, and sort of recover from whatever they had to do in the vet clinic, because in the end being at the vet clinic isn't necessarily the most fun thing for a dog, I guess, or a cat, or a pet in general. So we've got to make it better for them, which is possible by adding a little garden, I guess. So I'm finishing up this structure. Like I mentioned in the previous episode already, is that you can leave feedback on this build. I haven't mentioned it yet, so in case this is the first episode you're watching, make sure that you leave feedback on the build, because in that way I can make sure that it ends up looking super cool, because sometimes my viewers just simply have super cool ideas. But this video is pre-recorded, so therefore I'm not able to put in any feedback from the previous episode yet. In case it turns out that everyone does want to the building to be brown for some reason, even though in the first episode everyone wanted it to be white, then I might actually change that in the next episode, because then I will have read the feedback from like the previous episode. Okay, this is sort of a tough part, I guess, because I really didn't think about this up front when I created this structure, and it is sort of hard to turn this into something good looking now, I notice. I like the idea of this being some kind of balcony, so I think I'll continue that over here. Then this overhanging part, I think I want to extend one more, then it's also a little bit bigger, so that in the end the vet clinic itself can be a little bit bigger, like for the interior, which might be useful, because honestly I don't really know what I have to put in this vet clinic in order to make it function. Maybe I actually have to change the lot type. Oops, I almost am closing the program with which I'm recording this episode. Okay. Oh, it is currently being owned by that man with his 6 pets, so I cannot change the lot type right now, but I will change it later on after this episode, I guess. In the next episode we can actually change it to like the right lot type, I guess. There we go, and then also extend the balcony a little bit. Or is it too big now? Maybe it was better the way it was. Yeah, I think it looked better like the old way. So we're not changing that, at least it looks good now. Then I like the overhanging structure of this, so we're not placing anything under here, because that would sort of take that cool structure away. I would like to add some cool roof structure here though, because I mean that is in the end the cool thing. And I mean, in case you're on a boat and you want your pets to, or at least you probably don't want your pet to go to a vet clinic, but like for instance your dog got like seasick, then you end up here in Brindleton Bay in the harbor or in the marina, and then you see that super cool looking vet clinic, and then you're like, okay, that's where it's got to go. I sort of want the vet clinic to have that impression, but I've got to figure out a way to make like the back look as cool as the front looks. One tough part is that the back is sort of the shadow part as well, which is actually good because I always want the front to look best. And actually a side of a building can only look good when it's lit by the sun in the game, if you ask me. That's just my honest opinion on the lighting. It always just looks better when it's sunny in the game. So therefore it's good that the front, which is like the more important part, honestly, unless you're coming from a boat, looks good. But the back, nevertheless, therefore it is even more challenging to make the back look good, sort of. Which is also the reason why often whenever I do builds, the back is always underappreciated, sort of. Also in like the overview that comes afterwards, I just try to sort of prevent, well, I do record some parts in the back, but often it's like the main part of the house, which is often the front, that is recorded most. Okay, so that is sort of cool. Maybe in this case I do have to match it up a little bit, because in the front they don't match up, as you can see. But here we've got, yeah, I think I do want to match it up back here. I thought it actually like totally didn't match up, and it was like 2 parts away, but it's just like in the front 1 block away, so therefore I was like, huh. But maybe like this it will look better. Can I extend it a little bit? It would be cool if we'd be able to go off the grid, sort of, by with adjusting the roof. And what I mean by that is that we're able to move the roof around as if it's like this. And for instance, if you've got windows, that you can move it up and down like, can we? Yeah. When you press Alt, by the way, this is just a little tip, you can move it off the grid. This is the grid where it just sticks to like a preset height, and then you can also move it around like this. It would be able to move the roofs around like this. It would be super cool. because in that way I would be able to make this work out better. But hey, I guess we've got to deal with this right now. Let me think. This is pretty cool, but I've got to keep in mind that we want to add windows as well, because even though we do have like, this is probably not working because, oh, it is, cool, okay. But I do want to have like some cool natural lighting in the building. But if we've got that structure in the front, then it will probably end up not being super light because I can't add windows behind it. It turns out I can, but the question is, does it look good? And in order to find that out, I guess I've got to in some way delete that roof, which for some reason doesn't always happen the way you want it to happen. And I still, after like years and years of The Sims, haven't figured out how you can make sure that you don't see those parts. And I believe I've just got to make a separate room of it. Then, well, oh, in this case that, oh yeah, okay, I get it. Because if it would be gone in this case, there would be nothing left except for like that, like the extended parts. But I guess, yeah, what if I do this? That just simply wouldn't look good. But how am I gonna fix this? Because if this doesn't work, like, and we only have this structure in the middle, then that's won't look really cool, honestly. Maybe what I could do, no, I can't. Okay, I've got to come up with a solution for this. But in the meantime, I'll just continue work as if nothing happened, and then just add this foundation here, and then we're gonna, oh wait, why don't we see that part? Just do like the exact same structure on this side of the building, because it is looking pretty cool. Okay, does this work out? I feel like a total noob in the game right now. For some reason, I don't know why. Yeah, okay, it is pretty logical that I feel like a noob because I'm acting like a noob in the game. Okay, but okay, that's great, I guess. But so yeah, okay, that's not possible. Okay, that sort of sucks. Because then we cannot do what I wanted to do. Okay, this is sort of unexpected, as you probably notice. But that's also the fun part about a Let's Build, because maybe you stumble upon this same problem sometime and then maybe you see the solution in the Let's Build, and if not, then the cool thing is that you can actually help me by fixing it in case you do know how to fix this, I guess. Okay, in that case, we're gonna do it differently. We're going to extend this even more than it initially was. Change the foundation type. There we go. Add this to the foundation. Because then we're gonna make it even more extreme than it actually is. Here we go. Which might be pretty cool as well. Then we probably have to stop it here and continue it like this. Because otherwise we move away from that idea of not placing anything under this massive structure block over there. Okay, this is not working out. I don't like the look of it. But maybe if I turn it around entirely, I think that will actually look better. This is sort of a cool thing as well. I mentioned it in the first episode, I believe, already as well. But I'm so excited to actually make super many speed builds using this new roof tool, because I think I can be way more creative now that we've got this new tool. So just stay tuned. I'm currently recording this episode at the moment that I shouldn't, because I should be studying for my exams. But after I have finished my exams, I can actually record as much as I want again. I will probably test that out sometime. This is not working out, so I'm not going to be doing it. It simply doesn't work. And in the end, I do want some good lighting in the room as well. And we simply cannot get any good lighting in this room except for these parts. On the second level, it's a different story, because I can add light through like this atrium, which is sort of okay, I guess. I would like to see more light, but I don't know how to add more light to this part. So I guess we've got to deal with that. And still, like, the back looks pretty cool in this way. We still have to form some kind of difference between this, because this looks sort of strange in this way. I just have to figure out a way to do so. And maybe the idea is with pillars. So let me grab these pillars. These get to work pillars are super useful for like actually almost any work you've got to do with pillars, simply because they're very simple, not super big, available in very many colors, and that's just super helpful to do pillar work like this, which is sort of pillar work, okay. But yeah, I think this looks better. I'm not too sure. Do we have a different color? Yeah, we could do this, but that doesn't match up with the white. Almost looks as if it's like giving off light, so that isn't really the way it should be either. Sort of too extreme. Doesn't match the color of like these trims. Maybe it is cool though not to differentiate between this, but just to continue in this way by just doing it that way, except for the fact that the rhythm isn't right in this way. You always have to come up with some kind of rhythm if you're using pillars in this way. In case you hadn't realized that yet, the pillars are never placed randomly. There's always some kind of thinking behind it. But sometimes you create something which has like a super hard rhythm, which, yeah, it just sucks, and you should try not to create something like this. Otherwise you're creating super strange random rhythms like this one. What I could do is this one. There's always, seriously, you can never just randomly place pillars. I never do so. You always have to come up with some logic. Here we've got the logic that in the middle of this structure we've got a small distance, and then the rest has got a big distance, which in this case is probably the best thing to do, I guess, to keep it logical but still have some kind of difference. Now I'm changing this, and that might actually also change the way I should have placed the pillars, but that might actually be super useful for you to understand this pillar concept, because in that way I would choose this, because then this follows the pillars in this way, follow this wall, and then from the moment the wall ends you also change the pillar combination. So I think in this case I'm going for this rhythm. There we go. Yep, I think this will work out in the end. I've got to extend this a little bit, because otherwise this looks sort of strange as some kind of hanging structure. But in this way it's sort of cool. So I think we've got the shape done for the vet clinic. Let me know what you think of the shape and leave any feedback for what I should do differently. And then I would like to see you in the next episode, so leave the feedback in the comments. Don't forget to leave a like on this video, and also don't forget to subscribe to my channel to see it whenever I upload a new episode of the series. So yeah, thank you for watching the series, or this episode. You cannot have watched the entire series yet because it's not even done yet. But anyways, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you back later.